New at 10, small pharmacies say they are facing big losses, getting squeezed to the breaking point, and you could pay the price.
First Alert 4 investigator David Amilati digs into what is threatening your access to the medications you depend on.
Pharmacist Jerry Callahan opened the doors to the Pacific Medicine Shop on Old Route 66 7 years ago. And those who call on the medicine shop for a prescription are family.
We go out of our way to take care of our patients.
Jerry says that quality care that some 7,000 customers have come to expect is at risk.
There's not a day go by that we don't fill a prescription below cost.
Jerry has to buy these name brand prescriptions directly from drug manufacturers, often paying sometimes thousands of dollars up front. But when a pharmacy benefit manager or PBM reimburses him for filing that prescription, it's often less than what he paid to get it. And that means he's losing money every bottle he puts on his shelf. One example, a common asthma medication costs Jerry more than $600. His reimbursement is $30 under that cost. So if that doesn't change, Jerry says he may have to stop working with major insurance plans altogether, forcing his patients to pay out of pocket just to get the medications they depend on.
That's economic suicide. We're out of business. We can't afford it.
But now some of those customers' meds are so pricey, Jerry is asking them to pay in cash or now go elsewhere to get that script filled.
Where am I going to get that kind of cash? You know, come on. We got to stop that. That's ridiculous.
Dale Oberkramer is a 10-year Army veteran who takes meds for his vision. He says he needs Jerry's pharmacy to stay open because his next option is 30 minutes away. And that's tough for someone who is blind, can't drive, and on a fixed income.
It's ridiculous. It's unnecessary. You know, it's greed. It's all about money. And they'll take every penny they can get.
Especially when local pharmacies are often the only lifeline for small-town patients.
To dwell on it is just depressing.
This is a serious problem in communities all across Missouri.
Ron Fitzwater works with pharmacies across the Show Me State. He says PBMs like Express Scripts are powerful, well-funded, and make promises of saving money. But he says patients and local pharmacies are paying the price.
You're never in a good position when you need to look to government to help you solve a problem. But right now, that's the only place where we can go to try to bring some reasonableness to this system.
The PCMA, the group that represents America's pharmacy benefit managers, tells First Alert 4 Investigates in a statement, PBMs recognize the critical value of all pharmacies and are reimbursing pharmacies fairly. The core mission for PBMs is lower drug costs so that patients can access their prescriptions. So PBMs are helping independent and rural pharmacies by reimbursing them at higher rates. This isn't the first warning sign we reported. First Alert 4 Investigates first uncovered back in November hundreds of critical prescription drugs in short supply nationwide, including in the St. Louis region. And at that same time, some pharmacies were turning down prescription orders because of the high costs. Since then, we've also reported on a wave of pharmacy closures, many of them Walgreens, linked to an ongoing pharmacist shortage.
If this store goes, who's going to take care of the customers that we're doing now, like we do now?
Jerry says the fix is simple. PBMs need to get away from rebates, and drug companies need to lower their prices. But that won't happen, he says, because they don't want to cut their profits.
And I don't fault Express Scripts for making money. I'm just as greedy as they are. I want to make money, but I want fair reimbursement.
For now, Jerry says he's trying to hold on, moving money around to stay open for his neighbors. He hopes state and federal leaders will force changes before more small-town pharmacies disappear.
We're not perfect, nobody is, but we try to be. But the difference is us, we know our patients, they know us, and we treat them like family.
Jerry tells me he's worried about next year's contract with Express Scripts. He says if it goes through, he will take a loss on every brand name drug. The Missouri Pharmacy Association and the national groups are pushing for new laws. Some progress has been made. Gag clauses are now banned, so pharmacists can talk to patients about cheaper options. In Washington, Senators Josh Hawley and Elizabeth Warren back a bipartisan bill to prevent PBMs from owning pharmacies. In studio, David Amilati, First Alert 4 Investigates.
As David just mentioned, Jerry says next year could be harder if the new proposed contract with Express Scripts goes through. He says he will lose money on every brand name drug that he fills. So we reached out to Express Scripts for a comment on that. And in a statement, it says the new model will pay local pharmacies based on their actual medication cost and rewards pharmacies for improving patient outcomes and meeting higher quality standards, not just for filling prescriptions. Now, experts say you need to talk with your local pharmacist to find out if there will be impacts on your scripts, and they encourage you to contact your lawmakers about this issue. You can find that information inside the story on the First Alert Forward News app.